Look out, folks, look out. What's the one thing that Neptune's weather, people believing nonsense on the internet, and imaginary stories about cosmology have in common? They're all driven by, ooh, the galactic current sheet. Oh, no, not the galactic current sheet. It's very deadly, folks. Beware of the terror of the galactic current sheet. It's, if you don't know what it is, yeah, oh, look it up. You'll be very impressed. You'll be scared. You will definitely finally realize that the sun is eventually going to kill you. It's the source of all life and energy on Earth, the sun. It's going to totally kill you in just a certain number of years. Some guy on the internet who doesn't understand science definitely wants to tell you so. So that'll be fun. The galactic current sheet. Cuddle up for the apocalypse in style with the galactic current sheet plush blanket. The galactic current sheet. Yeah, just so you know, the galactic current sheet's not a thing. The local interstellar environment in the Milky Way galaxy is filamentary, not a sheet. And, those filaments, they are giant interstellar plasma filaments. They do matter. There is dust and stuff. Most dust in space is, well, I won't say most dust in space, but lots of the dust in space is ionized. So, like, plasma in space is super common because there's no magnetic shields around you when you're in space. So if you're just some dust floating around, it's pretty easy to get ionized with all the radiation from stars and galaxies out there. Anyway, yeah. So this morning's stream, this will be all about viewers get to drive. Yeah, viewers get to drive, and yeah. But we'll cover the standard stuff that we usually cover. We'll talk about perhaps some financial news, regular everyday news stories, Earth weather, and space weather. If you've got requests for any of those items, just drop a line and we will consider doing so. As, of course, on the channel, we do indeed read all comments. So let me just check and see here if everything is going according to plan, which it certainly seems like it is. Everything seems pretty optimal. I mean, all systems go, more or less. And yeah, like, that PC is not running, so let's just ignore that one. And I'll just head straight to SNN because, hey, I've got coffee and I need little else. I've got lots of glycogen stored right now, so I have zero concerns about my energy. I could definitely ride a bike kind of fast for like 2 hours on zero additional calories. So tell us what's in your breakfast. Have you had the breakfast of champions? And let us know in the comments what you think the breakfast of champions is. I mean, I'll put one of them out there right away. Smoked salmon. Smoked salmon is pretty unstoppably good. It's the breakfast of champions. I mean, of course, there are other champion breakfasts out there as well. So, I just want to see if I can flip a thing here because, see, I can flip it that way, but I can't flip it. I'm trying to flip my view so that it's not backwards. Of course, now I'm just filming the back of the thing. So Hey, Kate Whitehead, thanks for leaving a comment. And thanks for joining us, all of the viewers out there who've seen that we've gone live. Going a little earlier today than usual because no bike riding. Look, casual clothes. Normally I get done with my morning bike ride and I go live before I've even chugged organic tart cherry juice. So yeah, we'll let viewers drive today, and and I'll say things like, I'm no longer driving, I'm riding. That's a Ren quote, by the way, from Ren and Stimpy. The beloved episode Space Madness. And thanks for saying hi. Wool holes. Whoa, holes. So yeah, what? Oh, hi, bro. Says Butho 008, perhaps James Bond's roommate, or maybe his former roommate's uncle. Could be. What's Too Short's favorite word? That's a question. What's Too Short's favorite word? Needberdick? Did you know that we've started a band? So let me talk about the podcast. Yeah, there's a podcast that's coming. It's called the Misidentified Podcast, and it is about women's horror stories, namely like relationship horror stories. So, you know, dates, significant others, marriages, that sort of stuff. Yeah. So, and there's already a channel for it. It's literally just misidentified, like MISS space identified. And perhaps some of you viewers out there, some of you female viewers, have some sort of crazy stories or something, and you too can be a guest. So we'll be eventually we might even start streaming the episodes, but for now they're going to be recorded episodes, and they'll be uploaded on Sunday nights. So we're gonna record them without editing them, and they'll be like 1 to 2 hour podcasts, and it's not even by me. It's no, it's not. That's misidentified. Misidentified would be MISS. Ms would be MS period. So those are different. Miss refers to an unmarried gal, and that's partially because misidentified is Smash Staff. So Smash Staff is actually the host, and then our guests will be gal pals, and I've got a few of those. So there'll be any kind of like interesting relationship stories will be considered. There will also be a write-in section, and we're going to share that eventually. But since we don't even have the first pilot podcast episode done yet, that's got to be squared away, and of course that will have the emails in it. This Sunday's guests, or I should say next Sunday's guest, the next Sunday's guest, they've already gotten, well, they haven't gotten calendar invites actually. Calendar invites are going out on Tuesdays. So that's going to be the thing. We're going to try to make sure people have Discord installed by Monday, that they have their actual calendar invite, so they have the actual link for the channel on which the podcast will be hosted. And they'll have the option of being on video, not on video, and we'll even put a layer in there for voice changing, so that when if somebody has a super distinctive voice or an accent or something like that, because we want people to remain anonymous if they want to be anonymous, because of the nature of the content. So, that it could lead to some issues, right? So since safety and security is always the number one concern, all things being equal, safety and security, if you don't have that squared away, then don't do the other stuff, right? So anyway, and we'll talk more about that. But yes, it's misidentified, and the channel is going to do two things. Two things. We already have it all. It's been designed for over a year, I think, and it's called that because we misidentify actors and actresses constantly, and it's like an ongoing inside joke with us. So, uh, so when we watch a movie or a TV show, we see somebody that's clearly not, like, whoa, did you know Ralph Macchio was on Happy Days, or something like that, and we just do that constantly, and that's what the channel is going to be. It's going to be the Sunday night podcast, the misidentified podcast, and then we're going to constantly misidentify celebrities, all kinds of celebrities. I mean, there'll be cyclists that are misidentified. There'll be like any public figure, any like YouTubers can be misidentified, and we're just going to misidentify the shit out of everybody. We're going to be like, holy crap, did you know that Dustin Hoffman was in Star Wars? Or whatever. It's all based on that stuff, and look, it's legit because I really do not know the names of celebrities. So like, I'm the perfect guy to be doing it, because I mean, first of all, it's hilarious, and it's like, don't do anything that's not amusing you, right? If you're a stand-up comic and your jokes aren't amusing you, well then who the hell are you amusing, right? Like, you better be making yourself laugh with your jokes. If you're not making yourself laugh, if you're a band and you don't like your own music, retire. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand that if you're like the Rolling Stones and you've played Painted Black 90,000 times over the years, you might be sick of the song. It might be played out, but that's not what we're talking about, okay? Most people here are not Mick Jagger, who've played an original song 90,000 times. Perhaps I'm exaggerating a little bit, but they've played a lot of shows going back to what, the 50s? It's bonkers. Like the Rolling Stones or hate the Rolling Stones, they're living legends. They're like the epitome of classic rock and roll at this point. So, all right. Wow, that was a tangent. So, but yeah, that's going to be a new channel. That's not going to be on this channel. On this channel, on Saturday nights, we're doing a podcast here too, probably live streamed. And this is going to be the Ball Banger's Head. Now that's nothing like misidentified whatsoever. That's completely unserious. That is no rules, and we're going to have guests. Once again, on Discord, there'll be a channel for this, just for the Ball Banger's Head, and we'll have people coming in. We'll monitor the other Discord chat as well during the stream, and we're just going to talk about metal. Like, that's it. We're gonna all watch like our own respective videos. We're gonna like go 3, 2, 1, play, and watch videos ourselves in our location. I'm gonna stream a tiny little shadow box of it on the screen for you, so you know what we're watching. And then we're gonna like listen to and watch videos, or at least parts of them, and then we're gonna talk about the bands and the songs and all that stuff, right? So it's not gonna really be like the Headbangers Ball, because the Headbangers Ball used to play the videos, and then they would have long, they'd have like little skits. They would have and then they'd have like different musicians. They'd be like at a show somewhere or something, and they'd get like Dave Mustaine to guest host for the night or something. Somebody would, they'd have guests would show up at the show. Like there's probably an episode where Nirvana shows up or something, right? So it's not really going to be like that. It's going to be a podcast where we just talk about whatever we talk about, and like the guests will rotate. Our guests are going to, Smash Staff will pick a song, a metal song that she likes or that she wants to highlight on the show, and then we'll kind of like watch that a bit, comment on it, then the next guest, and so on, just goes around until the allotted time is up, and then we're done talking about it. But there's so much music out there for people to be discovered, that it's going to be a huge service to mankind. Because how do you really discover new music? Like if you heard how I discover new music nowadays, you would be like, "What? That is a crazy way to discover new music." And here's how it happens. As a content creator, I'm constantly exposed to new music because when I post on Instagram and YouTube, a lot of times I put audio in there that's not my original audio. I'll mix it in there when I upload the video. And many times I type in a keyword, which is like in the title of various songs on the internet. And then, I discover a new band, and there's an endless number of freaking bands. It's like, I mean, how are there so many? There's an endless number. I mean, if you like, geez, the kind of cars that they were driving in the early 70s and the way they match the metal that was being played in the early 70s is just like, there are so many bands that you never heard of that are so good. There's like whole genres that you might not have ever checked out. So it's just incredible. Anyway, but I digress. So yeah, viewers drive. You got news stories and stuff like that to talk about. Then you are in control. We want the user to be in control. We empower our viewers. We don't do things like mute them, right? Like, so please don't spam. Please, please say something nice or something mean in the comments. It's perhaps you could suggest that I'm into dudes because cycling jerseys, right? You've got all kinds of options. There are all kinds of exciting things to talk about. And of course, we can always talk about the galactic current sheet, okay? So, I mean, look, do you have your own galactic current sheet? No. What are you going to do? Bring in the apocalypse with no plush blanket to curl up under? Like, what? What? You're going to go in your doomsday bunker without this beautiful plush galactic current sheet blanket? What, are you crazy? I mean, look at that. The one eye's blue. That means North Pole magnetism. Ooh, look out. Magnets. Magnets are very dangerous, folks. The galaxy is coming for you, and it's reversing Neptune's weather. Oh, noes. Not Neptune's weather reversing. Because we know so much about Neptune's weather, right? We've really been following Neptune's weather for a long time. So if it reverses, it's got to be because the galaxy did it. Right? Isn't that right, folks? Yeah, that's a cosmology lesson where I am so sarcastic that people may think I'm serious. Sorry. Like, that biting sarcasm brought to you by me. I don't troll on the same level that your favorite YouTube noobs troll. I was on social media before it was called social media, before MySpace existed. I was there. I was running game servers and owning FPS games, taking over maps, taking over servers, running message boards. Like, I was doing that stuff before MySpace. So, like, you want to put me on blast on the internet? Good luck, bro. Bro, good luck, bro. I mean, I own a Stream Deck, okay? Do you want me to program this with memes about you? Don't screw around. Like, I'll smoke you. I will smoke you in FPSs and in online trolling. Like, I mean, bring it on. Like, seriously? I make memes a reality. All right? You don't believe me? You think I'm exaggerating? Really? You think I'm exaggerating? Okay. What do you think of this? The Tony Fauci face of evil bath mat? Ever seen that before? No? Oh, well, you can find it below the videos. It's linked there. I like to see. I can do a little dance, make a little love, and dance on Fauci's face. Ah, yes, yes. It's so fun. It's you too. You too can have pee dribbles landing on Fauci's face. You know, we provide value-added services on the channel. Good luck finding any, but look, folks, here's the deal, all right? This is very simple. So brace yourself. Maybe write this down, all right? Because this is going to be one to grow on, all right? Are you ready? It's not complicated. It's not complicated. This applies to literally anybody in the world. Set trends, don't follow fads. Damn, like 15 people left right as I was saying the sentence. You've missed out on these words of wisdom, people who've just left. Hopefully some of you are viewing this in syndication, you know, as in not live. So yeah, don't chase fads. By the time you experience a fad, it's already over. So, I mean, unless you're like creating the fad, then don't chase the fad. Set trends, because if they're good, if they're good trends, like the wholesome movement, then people will like go, hey, that's pretty good. I think that's a smart idea. And then they might do likewise. And who knows? Maybe the earth will get less shitty. I should say maybe civilization will get less shitty, right? Because that's like the issue right now. I mean, as far as like all of the major stuff, like wars and natural disasters and all that sort of stuff taking people out, I mean, that stuff is trending down, down, down over time. I know people keep saying it's getting worse, worse, worse all the time, and it's simply not true at any of the time. Like, you're a lot less likely to die in a war or a tsunami or a hurricane than you were just 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, and even 10 years ago. You're probably a lot safer. There are probably a few things that have happened in the past decade that have made you less likely for all-cause mortality, whether it's like medical breakthroughs or whether it's like technology that forecasts the weather better so you're not in a storm surge when the ocean shows up in your living room, things like that. So I you know, we constantly hear this, the end times are here. Repent today because the end times. And like, what? Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Like, what's going to happen? I mean, oh, the Antichrist already walks among us. Okay, somebody born in Iraq, if you're following the biblical prophecy, right? Where do they have to be? Where do they have to be from? They have to be born in Babylon, I guess, which is in modern day Iraq. So who's the great leader in Iraq that you're super spooked of? That's your biblical prophecy, right? The red heifer? Seriously? What? Somebody found a cow with only red hairs, and that means doomsday. Oh, doomsday. Oh no. Jeez, like, you don't know what to say. It's like there are like legit cultists, like those Iranian dudes, like Ahmadinejad. Ahmadinejad is that guy's a piece of work. I mean, he believes that he is the Mahdi. There's like a sect. No, he doesn't think he's the Mahdi. He thinks he's like the guy that helps the Mahdi or something, because the Islamic doomsday story is like written intentionally to be like the inverse of the book of Revelation in the Christian Bible. I won't go any deeper into this because it's like too controversial for YouTube. And you know, we don't need any additional jihads. So we have a sufficient number of jihads and jihadis. So we don't really need to like create any more. And of course, maybe the channel's too Luciferian, right? I mean, look at the symbolism. Oh no, the sun, a symbol of light. It's very, oh, look out. That that guy must be the light barrier. It's very Luciferian. Look at, it's a 9-pointed star. Oh, nose. he's 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 trying to help Moloch out. He's trying to help Moloch out. It's I know it. I know it. He's got a baby cooking furnace in the family room. I guaranteed. It smells like bread, but it's not bread. It's baby. He's cooking babies. He's a QAnon supporter, folks. He's down with Diddy. He's putting roofies in the baby oil as we speak. Whoa, Holes is like, I love Loudy. You love Loudy? What's Loudy? I don't know what that is. Please tell us. Biatch too short's fave word. I don't know. What's too short's fave word, yeah? Misidentified. No, it's misidentified. That's Smash Staff's alter ego. So she's going to host. I'm just going to be in the background. Like, you're not really going to see or hear from me during this thing. I might say the disclaimer at the beginning or something, but like, I'll be the background announcer. I'm not going to be part of it. I'll be like Jamie on the Joe Rogan Experience. You know, Jamie, he's just there like if fact checking needs to be done, or like if they have to be prompted to like move on to the next talking point or something like that. Like, that's what's going to happen. I'll be there. We'll promote the channel, but it's Smash Staff's thing. So, and she's got her share of horror stories as well. That's what brings these ladies together, is their relationship woes largely. I mean, of course, they can share their relationship wheeze as well, but like, so let's see. You thought it was clever, but misidentified is cool too. Yeah, I mean, we already have the branding for it. So the branding is like a stick figure guy and gal and a screen and some binoculars, and it just says misidentified, because that's what we are. Like, that's legit. We already do that. We watch movies and TV shows and stuff, and we misidentify actors. That's part of our leisure time activities, right? So, if you're going to make a YouTube channel, folks, here's some advice. Make it legit. All right? Make it about stuff that you know stuff about. You have all kinds of expertise. Share it with the world. We want to know. Like, are you like the world's most incredible backgammon player? Like, are you like, do you own at Yahtzee? Do you have like crazy Yahtzee strats that you want to share? I mean, make a channel. It's, as long as you keep here's how to make a channel easily blow up. Keep it really strictly just one subject. You know what I mean? Like, what we do on this channel is really hard. Like, we call ourselves a news network, because we started out doing space weather because we noticed that there was shite for daily space weather content on the internet. So it's like, we saw the darkness and we just lit a candle. Like, that was the purpose of the channel, because the daily space weather coverage on YouTube is sorry and pathetic. So somebody has to help boost it up to mainstream. And Tamitha Skov is not doing daily space weather videos. It's too much. I mean, she's got a lot of irons in the fire. So, you know what I mean? She's willing to do like a 5-hour Q&A podcast. I mean, she is epic. And yeah, like, and she's fun too. She's got a great sense of humor. Yes, Tamitha Skov. She knows a lot more than me about space weather, but she's never done daily space weather videos. So, when we started watching Tamitha, she had less subs than we did. Like she had like I think she had 2,000 and we had 3,000 or something like that. It was close. So, and speaking of subs, if you're new to the channel, press the freaking subscribe button. Otherwise, you're not going to see the content. You're not going to see the content in your sorry, tattered feed of ridiculous channels. I mean, look, I have channels that I'm subscribed to just for the lol factor. And then I have channels that I have many, many, many alternate email addresses that I'm subscribed to certain channels because we've been muted on those channels when we leave comments. So we just make more accounts and then we subscribe and then those dudes get lambasted. They get like, don't try to censor people on the internet. It's wrong. It's not effective. It's evil. And it's stupid. Because the answer to dumb ideas is smart ideas, not silencing the person. When you silence the person, they go, no, I'm being persecuted now. Woe is me. Look at my persecution. Nobody sees my Facebook posts about my kitty cats. I've been shadow banned. Now that I got that out of my system, let's see what's going on in science news. Science news. Scientists just split a single photon, and here's what they found. Huh? Physicists have for the first time shown that even a single photon obeys one of nature's strictest rules, conservation of angular momentum. Oh, quantum level confirmation of angular momentum conservation. Okay. Researchers at Tampere University, working with colleagues in Germany and India, have demonstrated for the first time that angular momentum remains conserved when a single photon splits in two. What do you end up with? What are the two halves of a photon? Anybody know? Let us know in the comments. This result confirms a core principle of physics at the quantum scale and marks a milestone that could help in creating advanced quantum states for use in computing, communication, and sensing technologies. That's pretty cool. That's, yeah, somebody split the photon. Okay. Where is Eugene the philosopher when you need him? Let's see here. Light too can possess angular momentum, specifically orbital angular momentum, which relates to the spatial shape of a light beam. At the quantum level, this means that individual photons carry specific amounts of OAM. Of course, angular momentum. That must be preserved when they interact with matter. In a study recently published in Physical Review Letters, the Tampere-led team investigated whether this conservation rule still applies when a lone photon is divided into a pair. Their work pushed the limits of conservation so I can just make a photon into two photons by splitting it? It just, what? I can just eternally multiply photons? That would be weird. What's up with that? You get two lower energy photons? I don't know. That is one for me to stop covering because ultimately it doesn't really affect very much of what we're covering on the channel. So we're just going to have to leave that one. That's like, we're going to have to put a pin in that. And we're going to post on the Discord chat about it because Eugene is probably going to say, this is nonsense. So, I mean, he's the guy that I use for particle physics consults. So, yeah, I even hired him because I thought I figured out the solar sunspot cycles. To our viewers who paid us for that, yeah, we used the money to pay Eugene the philosopher. But sadly, my theory was very much lacking. And so guess what I did? because all the evidence refuted my theory, I abandoned the theory because it was wrong. That's what you do in science, okay? You get a hypothesis and you go, this might be how a thing in nature works. And then you gather data and observations and maybe do experiments and things like that. And then you test the hypothesis. And if the data all comes back and refutes the hypothesis, then you abandon the hypothesis. If all of the data confirms your hypothesis, then you keep testing. You see if it's repeatable. You do stuff like that. And who knows, maybe it'll even become a theory. But what you don't do when none of the data backs up your hypothesis is double down, triple down, quadruple down, and octuple down on it, because that's extremely unethical and idiotic. But this is what happens, man. You can't argue with people that don't understand science. It's like trying to argue with somebody that's legitimately illiterate. Like, where do you start? I can't teach you how to talk, right? Like, if I'm going to do a debate with you, you have to already know language. So if you want to debate science, it's probably a good idea to, I don't know something about science. And this is the problem that I have with so many YouTube channels. They know like this much about science, and then they babble this much about science, and it's like, what the hell? You're saying numbers with no units. You're like, your theories are like completely refuted. There's a reason why nobody thinks this is the case. Like, you're so unfounded that we don't know where to start. You're looking at persistent contrails and telling me that's based on the chemistry of the exhaust. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, geez, like, a contrail is consistent because of pressure, humidity, and temperature and wind. Like, that's what determines if a contrail is persistent, period. Yeah, one contrail can make the whole city cloudy. So what? That's weather. It casts shade. It makes it colder in the daytime, and it emits infrared radiation at nighttime, which makes it warmer at nighttime. It's like, if you look up and you see a persistent contrail, right? And you're like, oh, it's stratospheric engineering, stratospheric aerosol injection, SAI, right? Well, okay, maybe. But if that's what it is, then why can you see it, and why are you looking at it in the troposphere? If you live right near an airport and you see lots of contrails around 12,000 feet of altitude, guess what? It's not the stratosphere. So solar radiation management. Oh, okay. So contrails are solar radiation management, but they're not. They don't stay there. Like, so what? Huh? Like, yeah, geoengineering exists. Bulgaria fires rockets at hailstorms, surface-to-air rockets, loaded with cloud seeding material to cause clouds to rain where the crops aren't, so they don't get hailstorms. China has ground-based geoengineering stations where they light fires on the ground and smokestacks to alter the jet stream over the Tibetan Plateau. Cloud seeding operations are a thing. They try to get snow to fall on the Colorado mountains that have no snowmaking. So they need to try to get more snow on certain mountains. Like, yeah, those are all things. So why the hell are you looking at passenger aircraft and cargo planes and saying, oh, that's a geoengineering? Because it definitely isn't. I mean, where are the chemicals? Where are the guys? Where are the manufacturers of the chemicals? Where are the trucks full of the chemicals? Where are they stored on the plane? How are they dispersed? Like, what the hell? Like, chemtrails. It's one of the most ridiculous. It's like the flat earth of meteorology, right? So you've got like flat earth. That's the absolute bottom of the barrel. And then you've got people that don't understand the weather. Those are the chemtrail enthusiasts. They don't know how clouds or planes work. And then, if you go up a little higher, you go to space. You got all kinds of people talking nonsense about space. Like, space is spooky. Like, you're scared of space? What the hell? Like, oh, it's bonkers. Yes, I know. Spooky things are going on in space. There's all kinds of violent stuff going on, and like asteroids flying around, and comets, and stars going nuts and orbiting each other and flinging each other into orbit, and neutron stars like behaving like a comet moving through the Milky Way galaxy at 400 kilometers per second, like a solar wind type speed, but it's a freaking neutron star. Like, imagine if that would go past the solar system. What if it just vacuumed up Jupiter and just sucked it out of orbit and moved the sun's barycenter? Like, what would that do? I don't know. It would be crazy, but we would see it coming for ages and ages and ages because things are big and space is very sparsely populated. So, all right, I got to stop ranting about space. You know, when I was in third grade, I was like seriously concerned that the sun might spiral into the galactic core because I guess I didn't realize the galactic core was 26,000 light years away, meaning it would take me 26,000 years to get there if I could go light speed. That's really far away. That's like halfway across. That's a quarter of the way across the entire galaxy from here to Sagittarius A star, the supermassive radio source at the core of the Milky Way galaxy. Mike says, morning. Did I miss the space weather? No, you didn't miss the space weather. We haven't talked space weather, but I will. First, we're on CNBC. And what do you got? Home Depot maintains full year forecast even as it misses on earnings for second straight quarter. So Home Depot saying, we got this. Best Buy launches third-party marketplace as it looks for sales drivers. Oh, man. Intel is getting a $2 billion investment from SoftBank. Trump promised Ukraine security upgrades. I'm sorry, security guarantees. Okay. I have no reason to disbelieve this. How about some more general news stories? Should I look at the controversial news? Five takeaways from the Trump-Zelensky White House meeting. Anybody care? Should I comment? Oh, we got Mr. Mission Control. I see Mr. Mission Control is having problems. That's gonna be an issue, Mr. Mission Control. So you will be non-moderated. I don't know whose comments you're deleting. I hope they were your own, but your wrench is gone. So I guess the next step would be hide user on the channel. Oh, here we go. We can put you in a timeout. That's pretty good. How about a nice 1 minute timeout, Mr. Mission Control? Deleting comments is sternly discouraged on the channel. If you want to piss me off, certainly engage in some censorship, and I will come for you. I will not place idle threats. I'll get you. All right, so what else do we have here? Yes, Christopher Perez thought it was clever, but misidentified as cool too. You didn't miss the space weather. We're getting there. A lot of messages deleted there. Nay, hey, welcome to the live stream, Nabo J. Mensa, yeah, make Earth not suck again, for real. It's up to you to make Earth not suck again. Every crisis is an opportunity for you to demonstrate leadership and stop sucking at life. Like every day is a new day for you to stop sucking at life. If you suck at life, make Earth not suck again, starting with you. If you can't get out of your own way, cover that. Then cast a long shadow and make Earth not suck again. It's kind of smart. And of course, Mansa as well, right? Make America not suck again. That might be nice. Nay B says, oh noes, we're all gonna die. Did you see Nay? Nay, check it out. Are you still there? We've got the galactic current sheet came out today. Ooh, it's reversed Neptune's weather. Oh no, Jupiter's red spot is next, folks. Ooh, cuddle up in comfort for the apocalypse in our galactic current sheet plush blanket. Ooh, it's so soft. It's even softer than the Fauci face of evil bath mat. No pee dribbles on the galactic current sheet, though, because it's very dangerous. Don't fuck with the galactic current sheet. The galactic current sheet is going to fuck you up. Holy shit. Oh my God. Magnetism. Oh no. Magnets are so scary because I don't understand them. Get in your bunkers, folks. Get in your bunkers and make sure you order your galactic current sheet plush blanket. Because do you really want to bring in the apocalypse without a beautiful plush blanket like this? I mean, room for two. Huh? Galactic current sheet. Nay B says, White Buffalo. Is that anything like White Claw? That's White Claw's uncle. Say uncle now, or the galactic current sheet will get you. It may cause you to develop a rash, or it may just destroy civilization. Galactic current sheet, coming to an imaginary cosmology near you. Moonroof says, the precursor to the Mahdi. Yeah, there's like a guy that facilitates the Mahdi or something, and Ahmadinejad, the former prime minister or whatever, it is the premier prime minister, president, who cares what it is in Iran. He was the general, or like, I forget. It's whatever. Yeah, he's the precursor. He fancies himself the precursor to the Mahdi. So yeah, they're trying to bring about the end of days in Iran, like the Iranian regime. I mean, a guy went to jail. I'm not sure if he got executed or not, but a guy went to prison for wizardry. Okay? Ahmadinejad's chief religious advisor. It's like a cabinet position in Iran. Ahmadinejad's secretary of religion went to prison for wizardry. Okay? According to my crystal ball, that's pretty freaking creepy. Like, what? For wizardry? Yeah, it's real. Like, look it up. Like, those dudes are pretty berserk. Nay's reciting portions of the Lord's Prayer now. Yeah, the new programming. And you'll be invited, Ms. Gable. Daily space weather was the best. Yeah, it was pretty good. And once we can actually get people to view, we'll have like the screen share just like we used to do. Remember, we used to do like the live shares, like the live streams just right through YouTube. And then they decided to cripple their own software because reasons. I guess it was too easy for people, so there were too many noobs streaming all the time. I mean, like, maybe I should make a companion stream for this one and just stream on the computer while I'm streaming here. I don't know. Like, you ought to see the difference in the views. It's bonkers. So yeah, but hey, at least we're incentivized to do this, so we'll do it. It's pretty cool, actually. So yeah, I mean, we've been monkeying around with like what we're gonna do with the channel for a long time. We made daily space weather videos for over 6 years, and then last July, I was just like, I'm done. I'm burned out. I'm trying to go to national championships for the road time trial, and it's not, you know what I mean? Like everything was like it was way too much. And I mean, if you know what our operating losses were on the channel, you would be like, what the hell? So yeah, they're massive. The operating losses they're still massive, really. But it's oh geez. Okay, we're not streaming on that. That's just my virtual camera. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, we can actually do a companion stream. Like maybe that's a thing we'll do. We'll just have two streams going at the same time. So I can have one that has stunning visuals and then one that's just like me, like this. I guess that'd be all right. Kevin Bissett says you're right. It's like arguing with a fence post. Yeah, I mean, like the stuff on the internet, uh, trying to have here's how the typical conversation goes. If you tell people that chemtrails aren't a thing, they're an imaginary made up thing that doesn't exist, they're gonna say, you sound vaxxed. Like that's the typical response. Or like, did you vote for Kamala Harris? Or you know what I mean? Like, I thought we were talking about chemtrails here. Like, now I sound vaxxed. Like, that's a real thing. Maybe you haven't been involved in any of these online arguments, but yeah, you sound vaxxed. That's a thing. It's it's hot. Space is scary. I mean, space is a little scary. There's a lot of violent stuff going on there, but not around here. Like it's pretty peaceful around the sun in the interstellar environment. I mean, the sun has been on 11-year cycles, we think, for millions of years. Yeah, the sunspot cycle. It looks like it goes back like 4 million years of stable 11-year cycles. Think about that. Like, wouldn't it have to do something crazy in all that time? Like, it's that stable that it's just on 11-year cycles going back at least hundreds of thousands of years. And how do we know? Because of the cosmic ray data in the geologic layers, the sedimentary layers. They have isotopes in there, and the isotopic levels tell us the carbon 12 to carbon 14 ratio tells us what cosmic ray flux was like. And we know that solar activity mitigates cosmic ray flux on 11-year cycles via solar plasma's magnetic fields. And so there you go. Like, like it's the sun is not spooky, folks. I know there are a lot of complete plonkers on the internet that are like telling you that the sun is spooky, the sun's gonna kill you, blah blah blah. It's so dangerous. Oh no, Miyake events, you're gonna die today. You got a bunker. The end is near. But where's the extraordinary evidence? All I get is the extraordinary claims. I mean, what the hell? Like if the grifters lie, sedimentary rock layers do not lie. Okay? What lies in the sedimentary rock layers is not lies. Lies come out of the faces of grifters. That's Remember, folks, the line between fraud and misrepresentation is simply intent. So if you misrepresent material facts, that's misrepresentation, and it might be fraud. Misrepresentation is an umbrella term that includes fraud. However, if you've intentionally misrepresented material facts, that's fraud. I'm a licensed insurance agent, and I don't have to worry about that. Why? Because I have zero pretense. Mr. Mission Control taking his spanner way too seriously. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whose comments that he deleted, but we're very sorry about that. We obviously gave a wrench to a complete twat. So, Mr. Mission Control, if you'd like to be muted next, definitely open your face and talk like an idiot. Now that you've done idiotic things, just say some idiotic things. And I guess we'll have to silence you because you're that much of an asshat. Censorship-free zone, dick job. Like, don't be such a used douche drinker. Don't be deleting people's comments. What the hell? So, now's your opportunity, folks. If your comments were deleted by this douche cake, then retype your comments, because now he's unable to delete them because I've deleted his wrench. That's right, Gareth. If it doesn't suck, it blows. And that's exactly how the weather actually works. You want to know how a hurricane works? It sucks. It's a low pressure zone. It's as if the atmosphere is being lifted up. That pulls the rest of the atmosphere into it. It's like a vacuum. A hurricane doesn't blow. It sucks. The winds that you experience are suckage. What blows is a high pressure day. So, in the wintertime, sometimes you go outside and there's little white puffy clouds and it's real blue sky and a real high wind and it's cold as hell. That blows. That's a high pressure zone pushing down on the atmosphere. Like, that's literally how weather works. Like these are the basic physics of how weather works. Hurricanes blow, anticyclones suck. They spin clockwise in the northern hemisphere and counterclockwise in the southern hemisphere. Anticyclones. The Great Red Spot on Jupiter is an anticyclone. It's not a storm like you would see on the Earth because it's an anticyclone. It's a high pressure zone, a pressing down on Jupiter's atmosphere, not a lifting up of it. A hurricane is like a lifting up of the atmosphere. That's why you get the lowest pressure. The storm surge is partially determined by the pressure and the size of the storm because it's effectively not pushing down on the ocean enough, so the ocean is like bulging up underneath it. That's literally what a hurricane does. That's part of the storm surge calculation. All right, so yeah, like when they forecast the storm surge, it's not just the winds. The winds are part of it, but the pressure and size of the storm determine it like makes the whole ocean becomes like a lens underneath the eye, especially. And I mean I think that equates to like as much as a foot or two. It's pretty serious. Like if you have a 10-foot storm surge, I think it's like 20% is going to be just the pressure portion of it. Yeah. So news stories. I'll check one more slightly controversial news source and then get to space and Earth weather. Do Earth weather first and space weather last. How's that? Let's see. See if we have any interesting headlines here. Trump says there'll be a three-way. Trump's going to have a three-way, folks. It's a big news story. Trump's going to have a three-way. Everybody will be very happy about the possibility of peace. Okay. Trump's going to have a three-way with Putin and Zelensky. So that might be wise. That might be wise. Retail chasing pros, crypto. So anybody got a quote on stellar lumens? I want to know what stellar lumens are at. I didn't even look at them, and I own some. Stellar lumens, a type of cryptocurrency based on the Ethereum blockchain, as if anybody gives a shit about that. So it's down to 41 cents. So it was 44 cents last time we reported it on this channel. It's now 41 cents. My price target is $50. Just kidding, folks. But if it hits $50, I'll be going on vacation. Your perfunctory reminder that markets are pornographically overvalued. Yeah, markets are overvalued. I was just saying this a few days ago. The NASDAQ is a giant bubble. Ask Peter Schiff, a real economist. He used to be the chief economic advisor for Ron Paul. If you're wondering about like Peter Schiff's resume, if that's not good enough, I don't know. I'll just say this: there are people out there who are actual fiscal conservatives. Yeah, it's true. They're not going to say, "Hey, we need lower interest rates." They're not going to say that because that discourages people from saving. So, do you see how that could be a problem? Discouraging people from saving. It's great for doomsday preppers who are selling you MREs and NBC gas masks and packs of lighters and packs of matches and charcoal and wood gasifiers and don't forget solar panels and everything else that goes with prepping. Yeah, like you should be able to be self-sufficient for sure. I mean, you'd like to own a yacht too, wouldn't you? Right? Like make sure your bunker is stocked. Like, of course be prepped. Like, why would you not be prepped? Of course be prepped. But don't take advice from people that don't understand basic science. Right? That's a terrible idea. Who does that? Lots of people. Lots and lots and lots of people do that. They take advice because they see a guy who sounds confident on the internet, and then they're just like, he sounds confident. He has 800,000 subscribers. He must know what he's talking about. His subscriber count that's his resume. That's all he needs. Just lots of subs. He can talk 80% nonsense and 20% facts, and people are going to believe him for a while until they find some glaring problems, and then they're going to call him on it, and then they're going to get muted, and then they're not going to know they're muted for weeks and weeks, and then they're going to go, what the hell, I've been muted all this time? Well, that ain't right. Yeah, I mean, I guess I got to start moderating the chat like directly, because I saw those deleted comments coming through, and that's I mean, I can't say it pisses me off, but somebody's going to get pissed on over that, and probably blocked on Facebook and so on. Like, not pleased about the deleted comments. And there'll be repercussions. I'll eventually see you somewhere, and there'll be repercussions. Enjoy that. I'll hold you accountable the same way I and the entire universe holds me accountable. Shall we? Dove says, what's up? Oh, wait. What do we have here? 31 Atlas is apparently bad aliens. 31 out. Witchcraft is a very real thing, says Gareth. Dove says, what's up, bro? I am leave in France, bro. Hey, welcome from France. I'm located in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, cycling mecca. If you're going to visit the U.S. and you want to ride a bike, ride it here. The UK government spent $66 million this year on your imaginary stratospheric injection trails, so they are most definitely a thing. Yeah, how many stratospheric aerosol injections get sprayed for $66 million? Would that be a global campaign of it? Or would it be some invisible testing over UK for a very limited period of time and now be over? Would that be what it was spent on? Yeah, that's exactly what it was spent on. It was spent on bureaucracy. It was spent on the SAI and the measurement and all of that stuff. That does not prove chemtrails. Chemtrails, still not a thing. Stratospheric injection still looks nothing like a contrail. So yeah, it was a little test done, and the rest of the world doesn't approve of this stuff anyway. So it's not happening on a large scale. It's never happened on a large scale, and it probably will never happen on a large scale because so many people think it's such an idiotic idea. Next, watch them changing the sky every day. They're definitely not changing the sky every day intentionally. Some days they're changing the sky because when they fly a plane, it creates persistent contrails. That's based on the weather conditions. We can forecast when there will be persistent contrails. Other days, you don't see persistent contrails because there's not enough humidity. It's too warm in that part of it's too cold in that part of the air. Like, if you think they're spraying, you should learn how weather and aircraft work. Next, stoked to see you again. I will be checking in often. Cheers, buddy. Cheers to you, buddy. Cheers, Nay. Thanks for tuning in. So here comes the Earth weather section. We can talk briefly about that. It's not super exciting, but as far as Canadian smoke goes, it's pretty chill now. So Canadian smoke doesn't really look like it's going to be too much of an issue. Let's check out the radar at radar.weather.gov, if you're wondering where. Radar.weather.gov. And we've got, what the heck, is that still around the Great Lakes? We've got lingering storms around the Great Lakes. So really around Lake Huron. And moving up to Detroit. So Detroit's going to get some severe weather. Also, Cleveland's going to get hit. Northwestern Pennsylvania will get hit with some severe storms. But besides that, Kansas City is getting some severe weather here. A couple things north of Houston, and a little bit of rain in southeastern New Mexico. But besides that, things are pretty chill. We used to always show the jet stream and stuff. It's not really necessary. As far as space weather goes, we had a weak coronal hole high-speed stream it was pretty anticlimactic. For some reason, NOAA thought it was going to be like a KP5. I think we got the geomagnetic unrest, or KP4. Let me just briefly take a look at the real-time solar wind for you and tell you what's going on with it. I'm not sure how high the speed got, but it looked like yesterday we covered the density wave already. So we did see like about 12 protons per cubic centimeter for the density. Okay, so the speed is actually in the process of ramping up now again. So we're only at about 450 kilometers per second for the solar wind. 434. Hold on a minute. Let me So yeah, we have 435 for the solar wind velocity, 435 kilometers a second, 9.5 protons per cubic centimeter. So I would expect the solar wind speed to pick up a little bit here, because this is barely, like, 435 kilometers a second is a nominal solar wind speed. That is not characteristic of a high-speed coronal hole wind. So I would expect to see the density drop way off. We're going to see the density come down to like 1 proton per cubic centimeter, maybe even lower than that. And then we're going to see the velocity come up to probably 700 kilometers per second, because NOAA might be wrong with the timing, but they're not going to be that far off. So expect the high speed to be pretty high on this solar wind stream. That is based on what I know about the physics and based on NOAA's forecast. As far as incoming space weather, there does not appear to be anything major. There is one CME expected to miss to the east of Earth. So yeah, it's pretty chill. Let's check filaments. I take a look at filaments here, as we haven't for a while. We do have some very massive filaments on the Earth side of the solar disk. I'll show you the animation from El Teide before I close this mother out. If you got any more comments, make sure you leave them, because we got about 5 minutes until this stream ends. And ooh, that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. It's spectacular. The hydrogen alpha imagery there from El Teide, Spain. I mean, that is, look at the filaments. Massive filament up here. Huge filaments here. One right in the center disk there. In fact, that one's ejected. Right there. It's now gone. It was there and it was gone. Now, it could have collapsed. I think it might have ejected. So there's one possible CME. And we've got these other filaments down here as well. So lots of filaments there. We could name those after living people on Twitter. Make sure you follow us over there if you don't. There's very little interaction there. It's almost pointless to even go on the platform, because it sucks so hard. It's such an echo chamber of nonsense. And of course, censorship continues there on pathetic Twitter X as well. So it's really pathetic, but that's where we do the hashtag name that filament, where you can name filaments after your friends, your foes, or even yourself. America's favorite pastime. Name that filament. And don't make me start yelling, because when I get loud, it's loud. You think you know, but you have no idea. Like, my voice is like a weapon. Sunspot number has dwindled all the way down to below 50, folks. So if you're spooked that the sun is shutting down, today is a day to get in the bunker, folks. Sunspot number all the way down to 37. 37 sunspots. Oh my God. Get in the bunker. The sun's shutting down and we're all going to die. Remember, it's been on a pretty consistent 11-year cycle for millions of years. So again, pardon the biting sarcasm, sunspot number is super low, and it jumps all over the place around solar maximum, which is where we are. So, I mean, we're only like barely a year from solar cycle 25 solar maximum. So, you know, what do you expect? You're going to see major fluctuations in the sunspot number. You can see it come all the way back up to 250, 260, 270 sunspots, and you can see sunspot number come all the way down to 0 sunspots. That's a little less likely, but yeah, it's entirely possible. And it doesn't really mean much. What does mean a lot is the migration of the sunspots toward the solar equator, because as the cycle progresses, you see less high latitude sunspots and more low latitude sunspots that are close to the equator. That's a thing. We're also going to start to see the coronal holes start to fixate at the poles. We still have lots of trans-equatorial coronal holes, which is what's providing the high-speed wind that's in the process of making its way here now. You're going to see the density drop off, and you're going to see higher speeds because we didn't really see a proper coronal hole wind stream from that setting coronal hole yet. I don't think so. I think the Parker spiral is kind of arriving right now with the high-speed wind portion. So look for that to happen throughout the day. And let's see, what else do we have here? That's pretty much it. Oh, we did have some flaring here. That's nice. Had a nice flare of M class. That was at 4:40 Universal Time this morning. So let's just take a brief look at that, since there'll be a great view of that on SDO. And we'll bring that up in, how about 131 angstroms? That seems like it'll be nice. And we'll close out the video with that, and I'll finish reading your comments, the ones that are coherent and relevant to anything. Of course, your comments are always relevant to something, which is why we read them all. However, we don't read them all on air because, sometimes your comments are moronic. And we'll zoom in a bit here because that M-class flare came from way, way over there on the eastern limb. So that's good. That means there's probably an active region there that's about to rise, and we can expect to see a little uptick in the sunspot number there. So sunspot number to come back up likely because that's an M-class flare, so there's probably a good re-rising active region about to make itself known once again on the Earth side of the solar disk. All right, so 31 Atlas is now apparently bad aliens. Yeah, I don't think so. Again, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So show me the extraterrestrials, and I'll have to believe you, perhaps. Catfish Dog, morning, and thanks for tuning in. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. Make sure you press subscribe if you're new. Do you see northern lights in the Midwest anytime soon? No mid-latitude aurora are likely. So the coronal hole wind stream could be accompanied by a massive negative BZ magnetic field component. Hopefully it is. It's theoretically possible, but it's probably like a 1% chance that you would see any aurora at mid-latitudes. We're located in Pennsylvania. Where are you located? I don't know. But yeah, if you're in the Midwest, it's kind of unlikely. I mean, if you're in the northern plains, you got a little better chance. But yeah, we're not going to get major aurora, I don't think, from this coronal hole high-speed stream. So yeah, and as far as this stream goes, thanks for leaving comments, everybody who has. It's time to close out. Make sure you check out our shorts. We put out a lot of content in shorts form, and that is, of course, usually in this same format, this portrait mode format, which YouTube prefers or something because reasons. Yeah. So, and if you missed the beginning of the live stream, just go back and watch the beginning. We talk about various things, and today was about letting the viewer drive, and about our new podcast, the Misidentified podcast, coming this. It's technically next Sunday evening. So yeah, Sunday. We're thinking 9, but it might be 10 p.m. Eastern time. That would be Sunday, August 24th, 2025, will be the pilot episode of the Misidentified podcast. So yeah, again, if you're new to the channel, press subscribe, leave comments, press the share button, especially if you're an influencer, because we always appreciate that when, people share the content. If you'd like us to appear on your channel, just, send a request. You can find us all over social media, and you can find our social media links below this video at smashomash.com, our homepage. You can also find a link to the Discord channel there. There's a permanent link, so you can join the Discord chat. That's how to send me an instant message if you want to. And anyway, we'll see you next time here at the Smash News Network, Least Plus the Name of News. I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. Smash-O-Mash, signing off. And until next time, may that solar wind be at your back.